Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Blueprints and Banter. I'm Steve Cona, President and CEO of ABC Florida Gulf Coast Chapter, and today I'm joined by our 2025 Young Professional of the Year, Mr. Nick Murphy. Nick, welcome.
Hello, thanks for having me, Steve.
Yeah, you bet. You bet. So, Member of the Year, were you surprised that happened?
Shocked, yes. I had no expectations for it. It was briefly mentioned in one of the committee meetings, and I was like, oh, that'd be cool for somebody to get that, and just never crossed my path to think of myself in that position.
Well, it's well deserved, and I think that all the work that you've put in, not only to your career but to ABC, we really appreciated everything you're doing. You're leading by example. But tell us a little bit about what you do at Gaylor Electric.
Yeah. So right now I am a project manager for them. I lead a team as the team lead, and I have one PM that works with me, as well as we have 3 project engineers.
Nice.
We typically stay around the Tampa area. Whatever projects we estimate, we run.
Awesome. What kind of projects are you working on now?
Right now, it's mostly industrial. Have a little bit of office build-outs here and there, but pretty much big commercial, industrial type work.
So let's talk about your journey a little bit into ABC. You started as an apprentice in our apprenticeship program, so talk about that a little bit.
I sure did, yeah. That was one of the first things that came across my plate whenever I first started with Gaylor. I started summer of 2021 with Gaylor. Very soon got introduced to ABC through Aaron Moore, and he kept bringing me along to these events, nothing I'd ever been to or experienced or been exposed to in my life. So once I started going, I started enjoying it, and then came the startup for the apprenticeship, and he said, "You're going to do this." I said, "Well, I really don't want to." I said, "I just graduated college. The last thing I want to do is go back to school." And the apprenticeship is something that I think I had always wanted to do, because before even going to college, I wanted to become an electrician.
Right.
Went to college, didn't want to try to get away from anything to do with construction, and here we are back again. So I wanted to, stop the schooling and just go up the career. But the apprenticeship gave me a lot of opportunity for growth and education that I didn't think I needed. Right.
Right.
You go through all this high level schooling and you think, I got it all now. You never have it all. And that was a very hard thing to swallow for me. And it probably took me a good 2 years through the apprenticeship before I said, okay, I understand why I'm here now.
Yeah.
I understand why I'm doing this. And that has helped pave the path for my career as far as growth and knowledge and just keeping on moving up.
And I think that pathway is something that might be foreign to some people. Like, you went to college and then went to an organization, and they allowed you to actually become an apprentice, learn the actual skill itself. So how does that separate you now from somebody who just went through the apprenticeship program?
Are you saying like from now?
Yeah, so you went to college and you realized that you felt like you needed more, right? You didn't realize you needed it, but you needed it,
right?
So how does having both of those degrees, so you have your college degree plus you have apprenticeship, how does that set for you as far as
Yeah, so I think that separates me a lot from people that just have that college degree, right? What they are now lacking is that field experience. They're lacking the connection with the field guys, the way that they operate and communicate with each other. The field side and the office side are 2 different personalities. So you have to find the mix and the blend between communicating on both sides. And having that opportunity to get into the apprenticeship and graduating through it, I made a lot of connections with the guys that were in my class.
Right.
All of us were close. You'll see when you start out, it's a big class and it slowly dwindles down for the guys that stick it through. But those are the people that have the grit to get through it. And that's what these people with just a college degree don't have, and they're lacking all of this, the hands-on, right? Because the apprenticeship gives you the opportunity to get hands-on. How do you bend conduit? How do you wire a receptacle, a switch, a 3-way switch? Stuff that even guys that are in the field that haven't gone through the apprentice just have no clue about, or they figured it out from training in the field.
Yeah, it's one thing to know it, then it's one thing to know it and be able to do it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And the other half of that too is because Gaylor operates as I like to call it from birth till death. So you estimate the project, you run the project, you close out the project. And so me estimating and understanding the know-how of how all the integrals work, right, really helps build the picture in your mind of what this is actually going to look like once it's actually built. So you know exactly what needs to go into it when you're estimating it, instead of just saying, oh, there's a switch there, let me just throw a box on the wall. No, there's a lot more to it.
So when did you think that you would be in the construction industry, you'd be working for a company, but that you really wanted to kind of be a leader and lead teams, and like when did that happen for you?
That's tough to answer. I'm a very goal-oriented person. For the most part, getting through college, I've been the guy that kind of sits in the back, shuts up, and doesn't really contribute a whole lot, but I'll get the work done, just assign me what to do. Working at Gaylor has given me a lot of opportunity to bring that other side of me out that I didn't really know was there. Between Gaylor and ABC, it's just all the resources are there, and I've taken advantage of them and pushed myself. As far as when it occurred to me that I wanted to be a leader, I don't think the thought ever crossed my mind that, hey, I want to be a leader. It just naturally progressed that route because I was taking on more, doing more. And I think the thing that has really kept me and driven me to do more and be more of a leader is the reward you get from it.
Right.
And it's not personal reward, it's the people around me. Everything is about the people. From the field guys to the office people to the people above me. Everything is about them. I'm the last thing that matters.
Right.
So being able to teach both up and down is the most benefit to me. Seeing them grow, seeing them excel, seeing them get to the places that I once was. And that's really where I get the love for it and realize that, hey, this is what I want to do.
And for me, like the greatest leaders that I've known in my life don't necessarily have a stat sheet of things that they've accomplished. It's the leaders that they've built,
right?
Who have been underneath them. So I think that's a great point. You talked about, or you went through our Next Gen class. You were a member of our 2024 Next Gen class, and now
2025.
And now you are the class chair of 2025. What made you decide to do that?
Well, it goes back to exactly what I just said, seeing others grow. I really enjoyed the class. I got a lot out of it. I made a lot of connections in our world and was exposed to different aspects of our industry that I've just never been exposed to before. The political side of it, the law side of it. Yeah, we get to look at contracts, but you learn so much more about it. How our county officials fight for us, all the way up to how our state officials fight for us. And so I really enjoyed that. And then getting to the end of the class, they say, hey, if you want to be a chair next year, give us a little application. Right. And I was really on edge about it for a couple weeks. And it came to a point that I was just like, you know what, screw it. We're gonna try it. And I learned probably in, 2021, my sister had asked me to officiate her wedding. Because they didn't have a place for me to stand. They had too many people already. So she asked me to officiate. Of course I'm gonna do that for my sister.
Sure.
I was the most uncomfortable I've ever been speaking in front of that many people. But it empowered me to be better at it and not feel as nervous.
Right.
Even regardless, even today when I'm speaking in front of people, my hands shake like this every time. I can't get away from it. But I took that experience when I was thinking about doing it, and I said, you know what, I need to get better.
Yeah.
And so that was a part of that role that I was afraid of, was just getting in front of all these people that I've never met before. Obviously, we'll get to know each other as the class goes, but leading them and guiding them through this class was scary, right? Yeah. And have to do another interview. Granted, it's with people I know, but it's still an interview. An interview is always going to be scary. So I wanted to grow personally, and get better at speaking in front of people, grow my leadership as well, leading a class. But I think the big thing for me was definitely the public speaking. Because as I want to progress through my career, I'm going to have to tackle different hurdles.
Absolutely.
And speaking in front of people is going to be something that, as you keep moving up, is going to be more and more prominent. So I wanted to get ahead of that.
Yeah.
As well as a lot bigger reward is just seeing everybody through it. I mean, there's plenty of people in this class that text me outside and say thank you. And we have one of my project engineers is going through it. I pushed her hard to go through this program as well. And watching her from when she started with us to now, it's a world of difference.
Yeah.
It makes me the happiest person to see her in that light.
That's awesome. And I can't stress enough that like you can't grow in your comfort zone. Like you have to stretch yourself. You have to be uncomfortable. You have to put yourselves in different positions that are going to challenge you. So I applaud you for realizing that, because I think that's only going to make you grow as a leader. So let's talk about some of the things that you've gained from ABC that you might not have gotten just staying in your company.
Yeah. The biggest thing that I've gotten with ABC and getting involved is relationships, right? You gain a lot of different individuals throughout the industry, and even outside of our industry too, that you just become friends with, you start getting along with. I've gained several friends that I hang out with regularly that are just from the industry, and I never would have known them had I not gotten involved. So it's the relationships, it's the networking side of it, talking to people, right? All of us grew up the same. We all grew up going to school. You have high school, it's a big social thing. You go to college, some people go to college, and it's another big social thing, but once you're out in the real world, you don't have that anymore. You don't have just, hey, we're hanging out today, let's make plans for after school, whatever. We don't have that anymore. And so I correlate that a lot to what ABC provides to us adults now.
Right.
Is that kind of networking and building friendships that can last a lifetime.
Yeah, and I think the one thing people really don't sometimes understand about our industry, it's a big industry, but it's small and it's relationship built, and it's the relationships that you build in the industry that continue to elevate you as a person and elevate your company as well. And those types of relationships have to continue, and I think you're seeing that, right?
Yeah.
as you evolve in the industry.
For sure. And you don't know everything you're ever going to know.
Oh no.
But you'll know the people to call on.
That's right.
And the other side of that too is, I don't know if you ever heard of the 7 people theory, that you meet one person, he's going to know somebody, or within 7 people they can find that person
Right.
that has a connection. And it goes the same way for our industry. I might not know it, you might not know it, but the next guy to ask that might know it.
Yeah.
And so it just keeps, it's a trickle down effect.
Yeah, 100%. So how has your involvement with ABC helped you within Gaylor itself?
Within Gaylor, it has enlightened me to see the history of how we got to where we are today, the hard battles fought, and given me a lot more comfort in knowing where we're at now and knowing what we had to fight to get here. So it gives me a lot more heart in the game, right? Makes me care more. And then the other aspect of it is I've already been through the first almost 5 years now going through ABC. I've seen the benefits, I've gotten the benefits. Obviously there's still a lot more growth for me to do.
Sure.
But Gaylor is growing massively in Florida. And for us to grow in Florida, it also requires involvement in ABC. And so as we keep hiring on these more people, it's very important to help them get involved, get our name out there, have them get the same experiences that I've gained. And so that's really how it's helped me. It's not necessarily helped me, but it's helped the organization.
Yeah. And for us at ABC, I think people think that, we're a member-based organization, but we learn a lot from every member that belongs to ABC. We meet the individual leaders inside these companies, and we grow better as an organization when we invite more people into the mix and they come in and they allow their leaders like you to participate. It helps us greatly as an association. So I'm thankful for people like you. I'm thankful for Gaylor as well for understanding that it is a relationship-based business, and we can only grow our industry to be the greatest it can be with this type of communication, this type of engagement. So, as the YP of the year, I guess there's a lot of responsibilities that go into that. So, and that's recruiting other YPs to be in the mix. So, what would you tell a YP out there right now that's in construction? What's one thing you wish you learned that you could share with them right now that would help them?
One thing, it's actually a two-part thing.
Okay.
The first is get involved, right? Get involved, grow yourself. Just dive in. It doesn't matter if it's outside, if it's inside, if it's something you have to do on a daily basis, just get involved. If it's a task that you haven't done before, just try it, do it. Don't put it off. Give it your best shot, give it to somebody to look over, and then have them tell you how to fix it. The next time you're gonna be 10% better. Or 100% if it's only a few mistakes, right? But the second part to that is, and this is the biggest part for me because it's still something I struggle with. And it's a fear of failure.
Yep.
The biggest thing that I wish I would have done sooner is realize that fear. I am a perfectionist. I'm going to ask questions like crazy until I figure out and fully understand what the task is and what I'm doing, instead of just trying to do it and risking failure. So the biggest thing, don't have a fear of failure. It's okay to fail. You learn more from your failure than you do from your success. If you're successful, you're like, great, I'm gonna do that again. Cool. But you're not learning anything other than you did a good job. From your failures, you're gonna learn your pinch points. You're gonna learn the different areas that you need to improve on. And without learning where you need to improve on, you can't get better.
Yeah. Yeah, and fear can be a great handicap, but it also could be, you can also reverse it, right? So it could be an asset to you. And
correct.
And know when you have that feeling of failure, you're pushing yourself and into a place where you're going to grow, I think, as a leader.
Absolutely.
So Nick, you've had an amazing ride, and I know that we are just at the start of what you're going to accomplish at ABC. Anything else you want to leave the group with? Like, you're part of the YP committee, you're part of Next Gen. I'm sure the Next Gen applications will go out. Just talk about anybody who is thinking about applying for the Next Gen program, what they should consider and what they should prepare for.
Yeah, so if you're thinking about getting into the Next Gen program, definitely think about what it's going to take as far as going to the classes and everything. It seems like a lot. It's not. It's 1 day a month. For a full day, you put the phone down. Just make sure you're set up with the individuals in your office to help those tasks. You can step away and say, hey, can you go take care of this for me? And then come right back to class.
Yep.
So don't be afraid that it's this big time commitment. It's not. It is a commitment, but it's a commitment to yourself at the end of the day.
Right.
Right? And if you want to grow, you gotta make the jump. And again, don't be afraid to jump. As far as getting into the program, yes, there's an interview. It can be a scary thing, but at the end of it, you walk out like, oh, I just did that.
Yeah. But it's a lot easier for that interview if you're in the mix already, so in the YP program and getting involved before you apply. Yeah.
So before you even apply, get involved. Go to the events, go to the YP events, the ABC events, go to as many as you can. Meet the people. The people are the same ones that are going to sit on that board and interview you, right?
Right.
It's going to make you a whole lot more comfortable with the people you're talking to. And outside of just going to events, ABC offers so much more. You have the board. People can get involved in the board. You can get involved in the YP committee. Once I finished the apprenticeship, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I needed something to fill that time. I don't like sitting around too much. And so then Aaron was involved in the committee, and I said, I want to do that. And so then I started getting involved in the YP committee, and it gave me more purpose and gave me more insights into ABC, met more people. Mm-hmm. And so it's, again, you're building those relationships, and then it puts you and sets you up for success to get into all the other aspects of ABC as well. Well,
Nick, once again, congratulations on being our 2025 YP of the Year. Thank you for being part of this association, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Blueprints and Banter.